Hey guys, what's going on? Steve here for another video. So this is going to be a Reddit story time of just about people's posts on Reddit and their stories about with alien abductions or alien encounters. Just stuff along with aliens. And so with that, I hope you guys are having a great day. Grab some peanut butter, lather it behind your ears. Grab some mayonnaise, rub it in between your toes. Do whatever you have to do to get ready. If you have to grab a sponge and slap yourself with it, or grab a pineapple, yell, "Aye aye, Captain, I can't wait to see you, SpongeBob." You just do you, okay? And let's get into the video.
The truth.
Okay guys, this is gonna be the first story. Okay, first time I ever tried to write this down. First time ever telling anyone outside my family. I'm leaving out time, details, and where I was at because I'm scared of what might happen to me. Summer before 8th grade, me and two of my friends snuck out of the middle of the night to go walk around the neighborhood and go see these girls on the next block who were having a sleepover. We turned the corner in our neighborhood and there's this huge black blimp shaped thing in the sky. Like the picture of the Heisenberg, but bigger than that, and as close, if not closer. Completely silent and the size of at least 4 or 5 football fields across, no exaggeration. Even though I was young, we stare at it intrigued, asking each other over and over again if we see it, which we all agree we do see it, standing there frozen in one place. It's like a big black polished gunmetal, no light, no sound, no anything, it's just hovering there. And then I don't even know what happened, but time clearly jumped. Next thing I remember is a craft/ship/government experiment, whatever the hell it is, has gone, and there's a tiny glowing white barbell thing in the sky, seemingly slowly falling to the earth with a wisp of smoke coming out of it. Then 2 brand new black trucks with silver gearboxes on the back and like F-150s or S-10s but nicer came speeding down the street, going about 70 in a residential area, which is a 25-mile-per-hour neighborhood. Then after that, I remember walking home to one of my friend's houses and going to bed. At that point, it was like 5 or 6 a.m. and the sun was coming up. We all made a promise to tell my dad in the morning because he worked for the city, but we never did. I don't know what happened later in life to one of my friends who was there, but the other was my best friend, and we sort of made an unspoken pact never to talk about it. Looking back on it now, there's no way we could have been the only ones to see it. It wasn't that late at night, and it was over a heavily populated suburb area of a major city. The idea of this has always scared me more and more of any sort of possible abduction scenario. That there were others, and we're all voluntarily suffering a sort of collective amnesia, except is how we're not. I've thought about hypnosis, but that scares me too. Plus, I'm not sure if I'd trust the results. I was a kid just then, and I'm not sure if I could trust the hypnosis. What I do know is that there is no way it could just have been 3 of us who saw it. We're talking about a huge thing hovering in the sky above hundreds of houses just after midnight on a summer weekend night. But nothing on the news, nothing in the papers, nothing on TV, no word spoken about it again, ever by anyone. Okay guys, on to the next story about alien abductions. My mom tells us a story of her and her friend. Let's call her Lisa. When my mom and Lisa were teenagers, they were up on the roof of Lisa's house and they see a bright light in the sky. Next thing they know, the light is gone. Thing is just there, and they've been on the roof for 15 minutes. But something like 3 hours have passed. My mom doesn't remember anything about what happened during that time, and Lisa simply refuses to talk about it. She would answer my mom with things like, "I don't know, I just dropped it for a long time." So a couple of months later, Mom moves away and loses contact with Lisa for about 10 years. She finally meets up with her again and immediately noticed that something is odd about Lisa. Lisa appeared very distant to her, with a very dreamy demeanor, like she was really happy and at peace for no good reason. After they talk for a bit, Lisa brings up the incident on the roof. Mom says she still doesn't really remember anything about it. But then Lisa remembers. She remembers everything. She said that at first it was all in little bits of pieces, and she just couldn't remember any of it clearly. She was confused and scared, and she wanted to avoid discussing it at all costs. Then as time passed, she began to remember it bit by bit. She remembers it all clearly, and she remembers the other 3 times she was abducted after that clearly as well. At first she was paralyzed, her somehow, did all sorts of invasive experiments on her, but by the most recent time they stopped robbing her, probing her, and began to talk with her. They didn't speak English or any other human languages, but she could just understand them. She could just understand everything they said, even though she couldn't speak any of their languages. Apparently, they told her all sorts of things, stuff about space, Earth, and itself. Most shockingly, she predicted years beforehand that she would get pregnant in a specific year, and it would also be stillborn, and that she would never be able to have children again. They also told her that it's not her fault, and they were just attempting to save her from this fate. But they were unsuccessful. Okay, this seems kind of fishy. I don't know if this is necessarily true. I don't think she could actually predict like when she's going to be pregnant. Because, I mean, aren't you able to choose when you want to be pregnant? Right? There's things like Tinder. Okay, it's not just like that. And also, why are aliens probing you? Okay, are you not sure that isn't just Michael Jackson or O.J. Simpson? Okay, but on a real note, I don't know if this is real. I don't know if this is fake. This could be made up. This could be a story. But yeah. They also told her that they abducted my mother. Another time, after the first incident, my mother says she has no recollection of any potential abductions, but she does have recurring nightmares of being abducted. But she's almost sure that they're just nightmares. Anyway, Lisa tells Mom that everything that she speaks of them has come true. The truth. More and more when my mom inquires the truth, as Lisa just says that you will know eventually. And she says that once she learns the truth, everything becomes wonderful. Mom has seen her a few more times over the years. We still live in another state from her, but she apparently has a pretty normal life. She doesn't like to obsess over alien stuff like some supposed alien abduction or abductees do. She only ever brings it up in the passing, not like it's a central part of her daily life. Okay, guys, I kind of just realized that a lot of these stories Scrubs did do, but I'm just already too deep in the video. Shout out to Scrubs. Time for the next story. So this is going to be the last story of today. I can't say for sure what happened to me that night, but here is how it went down. I was driving home for the weekend from school at Indiana University. It takes me about 2 hours to get home, and I left Bloomington around 10 p.m. at exactly 10:53 a.m. on a rush schedule, the 2-lane highway I take home, and I never noticed what appears to be a flashing light behind me. I thought, great, I'm gonna get pulled over, so I turn onto the next country road about a quarter mile from where I noticed the light. As the car stops and I stare to open my glove box to get out my registration, proof of insurance and lights suddenly disappear, and no car drove past. Now here is where the story takes a turn for the weird. And I'm sure you guys will think I'm just making it all up because it really does sound like something straight off a typical UFO movie or story. The electronics in my car started to haywire, the radio was randomly changing stations, while the volume kept going up and down, the dome light and headlights started to flicker and turn off and on. This was about 10:56 p.m. I start thinking to myself that my battery must just be failing, or else I have a short somewhere in the electric system of my car. So I lean down, pop the hood so I can take a look at my battery, and this is the last thing I remember doing. The next thing I know, I open up my eyes and see nothing but the night sky full of bright stars. It was a cold night, and it seemed like I had never seen the stars this bright in my life before. I sat up and looked around, and I saw absolutely nothing at all. I was in the middle of a field surrounded by corn stalks left over from the recent harvest. As I started to move to my senses, I started to freak out. Where am I? Am I sleeping in the middle in the field? Where did my car go? I got up and started walking towards the distant headlights. I could just see the road about a half mile away. I got to the nearest intersection. I looked at the sign and read 350 north and 50 west. I was half a mile away from my car, which was just right off the main road. I started walking towards the headlights I could see on the main road. When I arrived at my car, all the lights were out. My battery had died, which struck me as odd because I couldn't have been gone for that long. I looked at my phone, which was sitting on my passenger seat, and the time was 2:17 a.m. I can't say how long it took me to walk the half mile, but it couldn't have been more than 10 or 15 minutes. Over 3 hours have passed since I turned off onto the side of the road and the flashing lights behind me. I remember sitting in the car completely dumbfounded, wondering what the hell happened to me. After about half an hour just sitting there, I remember my battery was dead, so I got on the phone and called AAA to come out and come give me a hookup. It took about an hour for them to get out here to me since I was a good distance away from the nearest town, during which time I sat in silence running through all the possible scenarios in my head, concurring what had happened. To this day, I couldn't tell you what happened to me that night. All I know is that I can't think of a plausible explanation as to why I woke up half a mile away from my car in the middle of a cornfield more than 3 hours after I stopped. Okay guys, that's today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I don't know if I'm going to keep doing these scary stories. I did, like I said, realize that this was a scrappy story, so I'll probably link his video in the description below where it talks about aliens and stuff. I did not mean to do that on purpose. I'm going to have stories consistently for, I think, about a month. Okay, I'm going to try to do this for at least 28 days. Consistently upload, see if I can get my channel to grow. If it doesn't grow, then I'll just post whenever I feel like it. If it does grow, then like I said, I'll just keep posting every single day. With that, I hope you guys had a great day. Like and subscribe, or the peanut butter baby will rub peanut butter and baby oil across your forehead at night.